I'm settling down. My text go, you scream, you know better than that. I come around when you least expect me. I'm sitting at the bar when your glass is empty. You thinking that the song's coming on and text.
Alright, well I'm sure you're all wondering why you're here. It's never a good sign when you get a group meeting invite without a subject or agenda, Gabe. Normally I wouldn't want to speak for the group, but I think it's fair to say you've got us all a bit on edge here. Oh, he definitely speaks for me. What do you think you're doing giving us a scare like this, Gabe? I know you're not about to lay off a bunch of dudes you just hired. I need to talk to you all about something that's highly confidential. Not a word of what I'm about to say can leave this room. Is everything okay, boss? Are we understood? Not a word of this to anybody. Of course. Absolutely. Would you spit it out already? I'm not ready to divulge how I've come to know this, but I have a reason to believe that there's a leak, and based on the information that I have, it has to be someone in this room. A leak? What kind of leak? Some of our intelligence has gotten into the hands of the competition. Are you sure? Well, that's partially why we're here today, so I can get to the bottom of this, but all this evidence suggests that someone in this room has been selling information to a rival. Would you be so kind to permit me a moment, Gabe? Sure, go ahead, Tex. Now, I appreciate that this must be very difficult for y'all, but if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a snake in the grass. I like grass. It's soft, feels good to lie down in. I like the way it looks in a well-groomed front yard surrounded by a white picket fence. The last thing on earth I want in my grass is some scaly son of a gun sneaking up on me and biting me in the ankle. I'm especially disappointed because I know that Gabe here is mighty proud of each and every one of you. He handpicked the whole lot of you when he could have gone and hired anyone else. I gave him unlimited resources, and he's focused in on y'all in particular as the people he needed to help him get where he needs to go, where we all need to go. Now, seeing as this is an especially vexing situation for myself and a right true sad one for Gabe, I would appreciate it if you gave us your full cooperation as we talk this here mess out. Thanks, Tex. Look, guys, I know for all but one of you this isn't fair, and I apologize in advance if things get a little heated, but please understand that I'm only trying to figure out the truth so I can protect the work we've all been doing. You guys have worked your tails off getting our pre-draft scouting reports together, and I can't just sit here and let all that hard work go to waste. If this report gets into the Andrew Sandersons of the world, well, I don't think I need to tell you that would be a massive problem. So as much as this pains me, I've got to ask you guys some questions. In front of everyone, what kind of kangaroo court is this? I'm sorry, but we need to get to the bottom of this together. If I have to fire someone, I will. I'd like to talk to Bruce. What to ask Bruce? Bruce, I'm wondering if you've seen anything suspicious around the office lately. Can't say that I have, boss. Nothing at all? I'm trying to think, but yeah, nothing jumps out. Have you seen anyone where they shouldn't be? Cleaning staff in an office, maybe? Nothing like that, no, but even if I had, the cleaning staff goes into the offices every night to empty the trash and do a little dusting and vacuuming. Have you had any conversations with anyone that seemed in any way unusual? I try not to think in terms of usual and unusual. The universe simply unfolds as it must. Okay, well, as it's unfolded, have you heard anything from anyone that might make you at all suspicious? I don't know if this is fair, but no, I don't think this is fair. Look, Bruce, I know this is an awkward position to put you on, but I need as much information as I can get. We're in serious trouble here if we don't figure this out. I'm sure you of all people understand the value of intellectual property in an industry like ours. Alright, fine. For the sake of transparency, I'm sure it's nothing, but a couple weeks ago I was making small talk with Lenny while waiting for my tofu burrito to heat up in a microwave, and he mentioned in some sort of offhanded way how much debt he has from his medical bills. He wanted me to think he was joking, but I could tell he was really struggling. There was a deep hurt behind the laughter, as there so often is. He's still struggling with that, huh? He didn't really want to talk about it when I hired him, but I thought we gave him a generous enough package that it wouldn't be quite as big a burden. You approved his salary, Bruce, so you should know. I know that, Gabe, but you know how outrageous medical costs are if you're dealing with some serious like Lenny and his family are. Even if you got insurance, that only goes so far. It could easily take him decades to get out of those medical bills. So you think it's Lenny. I have nothing concrete to go on here, so I do not feel comfortable saying yes, I think it's Lenny. But if you don't have any better leads, what I'll say is follow the money. Money often leads us down a path of ruin. Okay. I appreciate your honesty, Bruce. I know it's not easy for a man like you to have this kind of conversation. I feel a need to center myself, but I'll be alright. I just hope you find your guy, Gabe. Yeah, me too. Thanks, Bruce. That's it for now. I'd like to talk to Chaz. Have you left anything out in the open? Thumb drives, printouts, anything at all that might have fallen into the wrong hands? Not that I can think of, no. I keep my door locked at night. My laptop secured with a fingerprint. All my document files are encrypted. I take data security seriously. Have you noticed anyone taking a particular interest in your scouting reports? I didn't really think anything of it at the time, but I have noticed Lenny talking to some of my scouts lately. He had one of them showing him some notebooks the other day. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Lenny, it's not looking good for you, guy. It's not looking good for the old man, Lenny. And you didn't think that was weird? Well, yeah, of course I did, but he said he wanted to take a look at the injury profile. Seemed legitimate enough then. And you believed him? He did spend a little longer going through some of those notes than I thought he would have needed to, but yeah, I believed him. Lenny doesn't strike me as the deceitful type. He had relaxed body language. There were no clinical signs of lying at all. If you had to guess, who do you think the leak is? I don't really know, Gabe, but if I were you, I'd look at historical precedent to see if I could identify any patterns. That's how I'd approach it anyway. Any ideas what kind of patterns I'd discover? Taking a semi-educated guess here, history is littered with examples of people being betrayed by those closest to him. And who's closer to you than Al? He's your assistant, isn't he? You think it was Al? I don't know what I think, to be honest, but I'd start with him. He's one of the best positioned to know how to pull one over on you anyway. That's all I've got right now. Thanks, Chaz. I'd like to talk to Lenny. Have you noticed anyone acting strange around here lately, Lenny? Does Bruce meditating in the break room count? Sounds like normal Bruce to me. Yeah, I thought so too. Looked pretty funny though. You should have seen it. He was sitting cross-legged on the floor, chanting and everything. Yeah, you need to chill, buddy. Do you have any idea how other teams would have gotten our intelligence? That's not really my kind of expertise. I barely know how to use my cell phone. Yeah, sure you do, Lenny. Uh-huh, okay. So no ideas at all. Not really, but if all they've got is a list of our positional rankings, that shouldn't be too much of a big deal, right? It's not like they know why we put these guys where we did. Lenny. It's not that big of a deal, huh? Okay. I see you. I see you, Lenny. Fair enough. Let's hope that's all they get their hands on. If you had to guess, who do you think the leak is? Oh, I don't know, boss. Don't put me in that position. You've really got no opinion on it? Not really. What would you do if you were me, then? If I were you, I don't know. I guess if it were you, if I were you, I'd take a look at Chaz. Not saying he's suspicious or anything, but he's in charge of all that stuff. At the very least, he might have seen something worth investigating. Shoot, maybe he lost one of those USB drives or something. It might be an innocent mistake. It might even be someone who just straight up stole our stuff. We're considering everything right now, Lenny, but unfortunately it looks like it's got to be a leak. I hope you find the guy then, but man, that really is a shame. Oh yeah, is it a shame, Lenny? Is it a shame? That'll do for now. Thanks, Lenny. I'd like to talk to Al. How easy do you think it would be for someone to get our intelligence to a competitor? If you're talking about our top level guys, it'd be pretty easy. We've got all the access to these files. At a certain point, you've got to trust your staff, otherwise it bogs down your day-to-day operations. Has anyone seemed bitter or angry to you lately? No, can't say I've seen that. We're all under a lot of pressure right now, but nothing unusual for this business. It's a high-pressure situation, absolutely, but these are the stakes we signed up for, and I don't think it's taken anyone by surprise. If you had to take a guess as to who was responsible, I'd really rather not say, Gabe. I'm not saying you have to accuse anyone, but if you had to guess, gut feeling, who would it be? Look, I don't know who did it. I want to make that perfectly clear, but if I were in your shoes, I'd look at motive. Who's got a reason to do something to hurt you? I don't know, Al. Who do you think? Personally, I don't see anyone who'd have a reason to do that, but since I'm grasping at straws here, the only one of us who strikes me as even a bit of a rival of yours is Daryl. You guys have some history there, and as far as I know, it's a friendly rivalry, but hey, weirder things have happened. Maybe it's a joke to you, but more serious to him? But like I said, that's only a guess. That's really helpful. Thanks, Al. I'd like to talk to Daryl. So what? Is this going to take a long time? I've got an appointment for a haircut at lunch, and I'm not trying to miss it for this nonsense. You have no hair. How are you going to get a haircut, guy? So you don't think there's a leak? I didn't say that, but believe me when I tell you, I know nothing about it. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, Gabe, but you're not going to get anything interesting out of me. I can tell you that right now. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that there is a leak. It's your world, Squirrel. If you had to guess who the leak was, who do you think it would be? You trying to get me to snitch? Even if I did know who it was, it ain't really my place to say. Are you kidding me, Daryl? Man, I already told you I don't know. I'm just saying I'm not a snitch is all. Humor me, Daryl. If you had to guess, who do you think that it was? I don't know. Tad? You know how assistant coaches are. You always scheming on the big seat. You know how many times I've heard about assistants gunning for the top job? Happens every day in this league. You really think it's Tad? I told you, man. I got no idea. You hired the guy. Why don't you ask him yourself? He's sitting right beside me. Good talk. Thanks, Daryl. Piece of crap. God, I can't stand him. Tad. What to ask Tad? Have you noticed anyone acting suspicious around here lately, Tad? Suspicious? No, I don't think so. Daryl has been picking his nose more often, but I chalk that up to allergy season. You think it's possible he's sneaking files up his nose? Probably. He's got a big old nose. Tad, I'm sorry. I know this is serious stuff, boss. I just don't know how I can help you. I'm at a loss, to be honest. What about expensive purchases? Anyone have a new watch, new car? Something they might have bought that seems above and beyond what their salary could afford? I don't think so, no, but I'm not great at all that kind of thing. Plus, I mostly keep to myself around here. I'm in this to work, not to socialize. I want to give you my all, Gabe. If you had to take a guess, who would you say it was? I don't really feel comfortable doing that, Gabe. Just a guess. Do I have to? Alright, how about this? Can you kind of walk me through what your thought process would be if you were in my shoes? I guess I would think, first of all, if there was anyone who is a little off around here, someone who I might not fully trust. Anyone on this team fit that description? Not that I know of, no, but something about Bruce has always seemed a little off to me. I don't know, something about that corporate hippie type. I don't even like hippies, but pick one or the other, you know? How could I trust what you say if you meditate and drive a Maserati? But maybe that's just me. I appreciate it, Tad. I'd like to talk to Tex. What to ask Tex? Well, what do you think, Tex? If you had to guess, who would you say is responsible? That's a mighty tough question, Gabe. Daryl was right well defensive over the whole thing, but I don't know. I'm not sure there's a clear-cut answer here, much as I'd like there to be. At this moment, I bet you're wondering, why is he wearing a different suit? Well, of course, 2K crashed, and for some reason my autosave took me way farther back than I wanted to be, so I had to go back in, and now he's wearing a different suit. I hate to say this, but after talking with everyone and gathering all the evidence, I'm convinced I know who the leak is, and I'm ready to let him go. Around my way, you can't make an accusation like that without backing it up, putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak. I want everyone in this room to know that I fully support Gabe in whatever decision he makes, but he will have to present us with evidence first. Totally fair, Tex. Well, get on with it then, son. Even if the man is guilty, it ain't right to make him wait all day for it. Alright, well, let's present the evidence. I hope the leak might slip up if I put the pressure on. Oh boy. I lose trust with the staffer every time I accuse them? Well, that's not good. Now, I think I've got evidence against Lenny. You piece of crap. The evidence is he needs money. I hate to bring this up, Lenny, but you have a lot of money issues. If anyone had a reason to sell this information, let's face it, you're the most likely guy. Needing money doesn't make me a thief, Gabe. That's not right of you to suggest that. What have I ever done to make you think I would do something like this? Now, I think I've got evidence against Lenny. The evidence is he didn't seem shocked by the leak. Why is that? Because I wasn't surprised. This kind of thing happens all the time in this industry. You do what you have to do, Gabe, but just because I'm not shocked at this news doesn't mean I'm the one responsible. Now I think I've got evidence against after hearing everything, I think the leak is Lenny. I'm sorry, Lenny, but from where I sit, I can't help but think it was you. Why don't you let old Lenny speak in his defense? That is, if he sees fit to. I can't object to that. Lenny, do you have anything to say in your defense? This whole thing is just silly, Gabe. I've been working hard to try and contribute to this team. Did you know Jokic had a person rating over 20 last year? That's sufficient production on that contract. I'm full of all kinds of stuff like that if you give me a chance to show it. This is it. If I found a hole in his story, I'm ready to put him out as leak and fire him. Otherwise, I can accuse someone else. I need to think this through. After hearing everything, I think the leak is... Daryl! I'm sorry, Daryl. For where I said, I can't help but think it was you. Man, this is some grade A nonsense. Because I'm a competitor, I'm some sort of two-faced villain. Yeah, I could cross you up on the court, but that doesn't make me a thief. Give me a break, man. You can't be serious with this. You're right. It's not you. I was just yanking your chain there, Daryl. It's Lenny all the way. Goodbye, Lenny. Lenny. I'm sorry, Lenny, but yeah. We know. Yeah. Person rating. Oh, really? Right, plus I've got less than no reason to sell you guys out like this. I'm fine financially. I'm a team player. I don't even have access to this stuff. I've never seen our scouting reports. No, that's wrong. Wrong? What are you talking about, boss? There's a sea of contradictions here. I know it was you, Lenny, and you broke my heart. You broke my freaking heart. Contradictions? You're confusing me. Care to give me some examples? Person rating? It sounds like you're trying to talk about per, Lenny. Where'd you hear that from, huh? On a more serious note, I know you need the money. Bruce said you were talking about it the other day in the kitchen. I was just joking. I like more money, sure, but who wouldn't? And you should know that you gave me a great salary. It's more than enough to keep me on my feet. Even forgetting that for a minute, you lied to me just now when you told me you've never seen our scouting reports. I know for a fact that you were going over them with Chaz's scouts. He said you were looking at them for a long time, too. Way longer than someone who's just curious about injury history. What's your answer to that? Gabe, Cat got your tongue? I've got more. There's all sorts of circumstantial evidence as well. You were there at every meeting whenever something got leaked, and thanks to Al's excellent note-taking skills, something caught my eye when I first met the imposter pretending to be the brand guru. Do you remember saying this? Talent's not the only thing, but it is the most important. I personally don't know the first thing about graphic design or slogans or branding or any of that, but if she's as good as they say she is, it might be worth it to put up with a little bit of. And if you don't remember this, I'll show you this little clip because I recorded everything. Everything in here is being recorded. Talent's not the only thing, but it is the most important. I personally don't know the first thing about graphic design or slogans or branding or any of that. But if she's as good as they say she is, it might be worth it to put it up with a little bit. And I still don't understand how Lenny knows it's a woman. How does that happen?
But if she's as good as they say she is,
Pretty interesting that you were the only one to say she out of all of us when everyone else thought the guy I met was the real deal. Or are you secretly a fashionista? Yeah, nothing to say? Sorry, Lenny, but unless you've got an amazing explanation for all this, I think this proves your guilt beyond a shadow of a doubt. You're the leak, Lenny Ayers, and it's time for you to go. And there it is. We got the freaking snake in the grass, and we chopped that snake's head off real quick. Real quick. Yeah. Piece of crap. I bring you in for a job, a dream job of yours. I give you so much freaking money you don't know what to do with it. And you go behind my back to Andrew Sanderson? Kiss my ass, Lenny.
You fucker!